10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
Hello and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the rocket pool community. My name is Wack. Today is August 1st. I can't believe it's August already. I'm also coming up to 1 year of making rocket fuel. That's really exciting. So it's August 1st and let's get started with updates from today. So the first thing is that the third grants round from the GMC has been decided, and here we have some awards that are going out to the community. So Shifrin, who's the administrator, made this post saying, "Hello everyone, we've concluded discussions and scoring for the July 2023 grants bounties round and retroactive awards round. I'm happy to announce the following award winners. For those who did not receive an award, please note that applicants are welcome to reapply. Given the likely passage of RPIP 26, the next cycle is likely to start on September 1st. And after that, it'll be every month instead of every 3 months. This post also begins a 14-day clock, during which, according to RPIP 15, anyone may file an RPIP disputing a grant, bounty, or retrospective award within 2 weeks of the announcement of recipients. Such an RPIP shall be subject to a snapshot vote. Any award not subject to such a challenge will become official on August 15th at 23:59 UTC. So one thing that I want to say about this challenge is, for example, if you got an award, you're not happy with the amount that you got, you can challenge it. If you didn't get an award, you can challenge it. If you are a community member and you think someone got too much, or they shouldn't have gotten an award, or someone didn't get an award and they should have, you can challenge it on their behalf as well. So anyone can challenge, and if you want to do that, then you've got 2 weeks to do it. Okay, and here it says that no awards were denominated in USD for the purpose of committee discussions and voting on finalized award amounts. Awards were then converted to RPL at the current price, which is $30 per RPL, as of shortly before this posting, and then rounded up to the nearest RPL. So here we have awards, average overall scores and feedback. And below is a list of award recipients, along with any specific information on the payout structure, the acceptance criteria for grants, and any other notes that the committee wished to have as part of the official documentation for the decision. The average score from 1 to 15 for grants and bounties, and 1 to 5 for the respective awards is also listed. You can also find this information in Google Sheets here. Then there's a link to the Google Sheet. The Google Sheet also contains anonymized feedback from the committee members, so applicants / community for each submission. Mentor.eth and Object did not score, but they were part of the video discussions. Kevster did not score and recently vacated his GMC seat. And then here there's a list of all the different awards that were granted. So Polar Punk Labs, Patches, Shifrin, Jasper, me, Dr. Doofus, Leety, Romana and Lutro, Pat, Ken, Valdorf, D. McCartney, Ramana, up to Valdorf were, wait, hold on a second. Oh yeah, sorry, they were awarded because they were retroactives. So yeah, Valdorf, Invis, and Pat as well. So for those were the award, all the people who were awarded amounts. And then Rocket Split was not awarded. Valdorf for GMC Light Fund was not awarded. Pateris for Rocket Scan Node user interface was not awarded. Zachary was not awarded. Lutro for feasibility document about RPUSD was not awarded. Valdorf was not awarded for the Watchtower Dissolver for any node operator, and Valdorf was not rewarded for Dissolve Mini Pool, and Karma were not awarded for their delegate dashboard. So then there's information here about final vote. It says after numerous discussions on the individual submissions, the community voted on the slate as a whole. The final vote was 7 in favour and 0 opposed, and with the relevant abstentions for conflicts of interest from Ken, all grants, Whack, all grants. A mentor did not vote on the final slate of awards, which is part of the video discussions. Annie Septora joined the GMC after most of the scoring and discussions were already wrapped up. Then there's information on the delegate dashboard saying, I'm interested in finding effective means to engage the community further in the development of dashboards such as this, ensuring it caters to their needs. Although we saw feedback last month through the DAO forum and Discord, it did not yield sufficient inputs for transforming the dashboard into a viable substitute for delegates.rocketpool.net. I'd like to identify existing approaches to actively involve the community, particularly when it involves replacing existing systems. And then large grant rewards, a recurring talking point was on whether the GMC should assume the responsibility of funding what could be considered a full-time position. Rocket Fuel's acceptance was based on the evidence provided, showcasing its significant contribution to the community. The GMC acknowledges the need for further deliberation and development on the precedent when considering grants of such a substantial magnitude. And then there's some additional comments about how RPIP 26 is going to pass, and this will be the last reward cycle in the old style, with the next one September 1st being in the new style, where they'll happen every month. And also there's the admin position that's open if someone wants to apply. Well, it'll open in a few days' time. Pateris is why is there no score for his grant, and Schifrin says they believe the committee members didn't score this grant due to concerns about the requested amount and more there. Val said, can you speak about BA032301 and BA0232302? I've seen no proposal from Kane that would address this. Looked in research and the latest contributions were around PDA voting on chain and mega pools. Is there something concrete here? I do not consider people can do this if they want sufficient. Even if code is available for it, our protocol cannot depend on kindness. I think we should be moving towards removing this duty. And then this here is the ODAO. The ODAO shall minimize its role, and then there's like a heading there, and it says if there's a redundancy with another way to remove the duty, fair enough, please point me to something along those lines. So I guess Joe will be responding to that. But yeah, the grants have gone through. Congratulations to all the people who were awarded a grant. Thank you for your patience and understanding during this grant cycle. There have been some discussions that have been going on about the vote going through and what that means for retroactive awards. But if that becomes like news, I will cover that in a future episode. Okay, moving on from there. Next we have... I should have fixed that beforehand. Next we have this update from Maverick saying a few things for you today. Starting with the bi-weekly update, we're going to end with that. Then he says the community call will be a different time this week. It's actually taking place now, I think, soon. It says 7 hours, I'm not sure. I think there might have been 7 hours when I opened the link, maybe. Yeah. And then Felicia Kane and I co-hosting a special guest from SSV, so make sure ping me with all of your burning DVT questions. The second and final Index Corp design choice poll is now live. It looks like the rocket is pretty popular, so have your say on the orange or lack thereof. And if you missed it, the bi-weekly has a job description for a GMC administrator role on the DAO governance forum. Have a look, and if you're interested, make sure you apply before the cutoff date, although this may be extended for an additional week. So it will be extended, as far as I know, from the date that I said yesterday. So please make sure that you get your applications in promptly, though. Let's have a quick look at, I'll open the actually that will open a new window on its own. Let's have a look at this Index Co-op logo. So they're going with the rocket, and now they're asking if you just want it without the orange or with the orange. I chose without the orange because I think it just looks really classy, but it looks like the community is going towards choosing it with the orange. So I guess I'll give you guys an update on how that goes when we get that information. Okay, next we have this bi-weekly update from Maverick. He posted it last night. So he says the rETH supply has grown 0.29% for an annualized growth of 7%. I think that's one of the most stagnant weeks I've ever seen since Rocket Pool went live, as far as I can remember. There probably have been other weeks that were more stagnant than this, but this was a really, really, really slow week. I think that was because there were a bunch of burns as well. Active mini pool count has gone down 2.7%. Has grown 2.7% to 26,696 mini pools. That's really amazing. That's now more than double what we had before Atlas, which, when you think, before Atlas was nearly a year and a half, and post Atlas has been like 3 or 4 months. It's absolutely amazing. And the node operator count has grown 1.2% to 3,087. Smart node version 1.10.0 is available, and then there's inflation settings were changed, and PDA on-chain voting is being worked on. Integrations, rETH is popular on Gravatar, Umee, Chainlink price feed for rETH and Optimism, and then Mean Finance supported rETH and Optimism. Davos supports rETH and Optimism and Arbitrum. GND protocol integrated rETH. Zero Liquid has integrated rETH, and Index Coop is very close to releasing ICrETH. With governance, you can still vote on RPIP 24, though that looks like it's going to pass. And then there's the GMC administrator application that's open now, assuming that RPIP 26 will pass, which we strongly think it will. There's the GMC treasure update that I covered yesterday, members change that I covered yesterday, and a discussion started about the PDAO, which I'm going to cover later in today's episode. And then with the media, there was a lot of coverage about the smoothing pool. There was a lot of discussion about that on Twitter. And then rETH was a top fortnightly liquid staking market share gainer, according to Thor on Twitter. RPL perps, you could get those on Synthetics. Langers talked to DeFi Toronto and First Digital about Rocket Pool. Rocket Pool mentioned media contact from Bybit and Watcher Guru. Nexus Mutual, they bought $27 million worth of rETH and got some good media coverage from the block and others. And Kujira, Justin Drake talked about MEV burn and how Rocket Pool would gain a lot from that. Spool integration, and then community call is available on YouTube. And Rocket Pool is featured in an article about restaking. So that was the bi-weekly update. So one of the things that was mentioned in the bi-weekly update just now was this post about dev team funding. Let me just refresh it really quickly to make sure I covered any comments. So Val here says the latest past set of votes included 3 months of funding for the dev team. Per the vote text, this is interim funding. We likely want to fund longer based on the roadmap, but that can be a separate vote. So I wanted to get the ball rolling on that. There's been a minor amount of discussion on Discord, and then here there's like different things that Val would like to get a temperature check on. So is the 12-month cadence good? The team providing roadmaps, how they should do it, when it will happen, and some things that need to iron out. Is the plan okay? Is 12 months the right cadence? Discussions on roadmap in May sufficient? And are we paying the right amount? Some team input might be useful here. Would more money translate to a bigger team? Is a bigger team desirable? Would more money translate to any other advantages? So what happened, for those of you who don't know, is of course the ODAO is going to be getting much less funding going forward because the Rocket Pool team will be removing 3 of their 4 ODAO nodes, and they'll be going down to 1, and of course they will get half the money as well. So they're going from 100% to 12.5% of their rewards from that one ODAO node. So their income is being drastically reduced. So the PDAO will now assume funding of the Rocket Pool team, or any team for that matter who want to work on Rocket Pool and its development. So that is something that the PDAO is open to discussing, I guess. It'll be a long process to make it official, but I think that that's possible now. But the current existing Rocket Pool team, they'll start getting payments from the PDAO, and it was Val here is trying to figure out like how that process is going to work, and let's make sure that it's happening. So Dr. Doofus says nice work. I don't see any issue with 12 months as long as the PDAO can vote to shorten it in the future. 18 months seems fine as well. And I said I think this is okay. 12 months is good, but could there be a problem if there's a huge fluctuation in the RPL price? And I said the discussions were sufficient. Formalization of a method of how we do it would be good. And I said the one from May should count. And then for number 4, I said I don't know. And Patches here had a really nice comment saying that he thinks that the team is extremely cost effective and efficient to pay for development work. And like any other mechanism would be less efficient than this, like grants and boundaries, contractors hiring other DAOs or even other teams. And he says this is for a number of reasons. They're already subject matter experts. Like very few people in the world know Rocket Pool as a protocol as a whole better than the Rocket Pool team do. So they work at a really high rate of efficiency. They don't have to learn anything. They already know everything. Contractors are very expensive. And then running grants and bounties through the full process for every single roadmap item and piecemeal deliverable has to cost both the GMC and the person claiming the grant and bounty, which is really difficult to manage. Like, from limited time that I've been working on the GMC, like it would be very, very difficult if all of those jobs that the team does just came to the GMC in the form of grants or bounties or retroactive awards. We just don't have the expertise to like be able to price things accurately in that sense. And it would slow down the GMC massively. And then Patcher says, number 4, they're very, very aligned with the success of the protocol. They prioritize work and sprint to the end. And he says that team input would be useful if they feel that RPL inflows are the main factor preventing them from hiring and they have a desire to increase staffing. We should increase these inflows as we get very good return on investment by funding the team. And I said I'm happy to give them more money for hiring from the ODAO for sure. From the PDAO, I meant to say. And then Rocknet says, this seems basically okay to me. He says 12 months seems fine. He says, I might not have been as keyed in at the time, but want to make discussions more about getting feedback on community priorities. Is a quarterly update more status, what we did and what we're going to do, or a roadmap building exercise? And he says, look forward to the team input. And then Val then goes on, answers some of Rocknet's questions there. So there's a really nice discussion going on here. If you're all curious about this, pop into the DAO forum and check it out, because I think it's going to be a really good discussion and there's a lot to learn, a lot to talk about. Okay, so a really interesting thing happened overnight where Rocket Pool kind of went, the RPL token kind of went crazy. So it started here at $29 and at 0.01611, and over the course of a matter of minutes, people like what, and RPL just kind of went crazy. The price rocketed really nicely. The ratio increased really strongly. Went up to $32. And up to 0.1756 on Uniswap. There was just so many buys coming through, so everyone's like, what's going on? There's more, and there's just like a whole lot of buys coming in. So if you have a look on Binance, actually, we kind of let me just show you guys here. So we peaked at $37 and 13 cents. So there was like a crazy vertical candle that happened right there. So we still don't know exactly what caused it, but it was fun that it happened. Here Varatar said nature is healing. So it was nice that we kind of got that little bit of a pump, but what goes up must come down, and the price is pretty much back to $30 now. So most of that pump has been lost and gone back to kind of where we were yesterday, although we are up on the ratio, considering that ETH is actually down today compared to where it was at that point yesterday as well. So that price action actually had a nice impact. And then there's some other a nice piece of information that came through as well, where there was some big deposits here coming into the deposit pool. So here Gnome Labs deposited 1,079 ETH into the deposit pool, which of course is really good to see. But having a look at Rocket Scan over here, you can see that things have kind of stagnated a little bit in terms of well, actually, let's take a step back for a second. So from here, you can see that deposits are coming through really nicely. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the last 6 days have had over 1,000 ETH deposited, which is really nice. However, looking at the actual amount of rETH that is out there, it's been pretty much stagnant for the last few weeks now, and the reason for that is because as people are depositing into the deposit pool, then there is rETH being burned at the same time, and it's kind of balancing these out, so much so that if you have a look at this chart here, since July, basically since July 22nd or 23rd, pretty much since July 23rd, we've been pretty much flat. In fact, we're actually down 6,000 rETH in total supply in that time. So there is definitely we're kind of going through like a little bit of a flat spell. The interesting thing is that mini pools are still going through, and right now we've still got a space for 15,000 ETH to be deposited into the deposit pool. So if you are all if you want to spin up hundreds of mini pools, now's the time to do that. Okay, next we kind of hinted at this in the bi-weekly, but we got this update from Umee Finance. It's Umee_cross-chain. It's not a protocol I've really heard of before. They call themselves the most programmable, safety-first lending blockchain for Web3. However, he says here's one you don't want to miss. Umee Fam, we're featuring Rocket Pool, the first ETH LST to arrive on the platform. And 2nd of August, they're setting a Twitter space that you can take part in. But it looks like Rocket Pool is going to go live into the Umeeverse. There's a couple of other little interesting developments that have happened as well. One of them is that rETH might be bridged over to Cosmos and used in some DeFi protocols there. So I think that's quite interesting too. But please be aware that any of these protocols, you can lose what you put in, and it could potentially get dangerous. So definitely keep that in mind. Okay, I'm going to finish today's episode, as I do, most episodes at the end of the month, with a raffle. So Cheers was kind enough to gather up all the rankings on the Whackboard here and get everything added up. So we had 34 people who submitted this month, with Mambo-san being my number one, even though he just had a baby recently. So that's so amazing. That's really, really cool. What happened was, however, Cheers forgot to provide tickets for me for the month. So I had to use this how-to guide to make the tickets myself. So sadly, the tickets are not like, I just got the info from what Cheers provided, and then I used the methodology that was mentioned in the spreadsheet there to make the tickets. You guys can see they're all on the screen. I don't think we need to audit it. Like, I've already had a look, and as long as everyone's happy with the tickets from the one that Cheers provided yesterday, then we should all be good. So what I'm going to do now is I just copied this list of 162 tickets, and I'm putting them in random.org. And what I do here is I go to list randomizer, and in the list randomizer I enter all the tickets so that we had here, and there's a whole bunch of them. Oh, actually, before I do that, I want to show you all this really cool thing. Give me a second. So I think it was Harpocrates. Let me see. Harpocrates made this. Harpocrates made this chance of you winning the raffle. So Mambo-san has 95.4% chance of winning. Harpocrates, Cheers, Sneaky Ninja have 65% chance of winning. Jasper has a 61% chance of winning. Schifrin 57%. So basically, depending on the number of tickets you have, the chances of winning the raffle go up. So that was a really nice little thing that produced earlier today. So it'll be interesting to see how this works out. Anyway, so here I pasted the list in random.org. Let me actually just change my screen so you can see it. So here are the tickets for Mambo, and then we have Harpocrates, Cheers. Actually, I'm going to add some tickets to Cheers because he does this work, and I give him extra tickets for that. Right, okay, and then there's Sneaky, Jasper, Schifrin, Not You, Mig, Via, Patches, Ramana, Ken, Chaos, Dondo, Rocknet, Pevnik, Rare Bunny, Jinx, My Guy, Vaka, Adam, Tennis, and so on. And you can see all the tickets there. So now I'm going to press randomize. As always, of course, the top 10 people will get $100 each as a way of saying thank you for contributing to Rocket Fuel. And people can't win two prizes. So if you've got two winning entries in the top 10, then I'm going to skip that second one to go to the next person. So I'm going to press randomize now. Let's have a look what happens. Okay, so number 1 we have Dondo, then we have Chaos, then we have Harpocrates, then Mambo, then IB Gymnast, which is nice, Cheers, and then Mambo again, so we're going to skip that. So we got 6 here. Vaka's number 7, Not You is number 8, Jasper is number 9, and then Rare Bunny is number 10. I think that's right. I'll post this in the Discord for you all to see, and then you can verify that as well. But as you can see over here, there's 162 tickets like we expected, and it says 165. I'm not sure what the issue there is. Let me see what happened. I think it was adding some extra lines somewhere. Oh no, it was 162, but I added 3 tickets to Cheers, so that's why it's 165. So yeah, it's okay. Crisis averted. But yeah, so right now the price of RPL, if we have a look here on Binance, is $30.18. No, sorry, $29.99. You can see right here at the top, I'm highlighting it. So to get 100 and divided by 29.99, so each winner will be getting 3.34 RPL each, and you can expect that in the next couple of days. I'll be reaching out to the winners very soon and asking for their addresses. I think most of these winners, I already have their addresses, except IB1 Gymnast. I don't have his, I don't think. But yeah, that's really cool. Congratulations to the winners, and thank you so much for contributing and being part of, crucial to Rocket Fuel's continuation. Without you all, this show would not be possible. So I send out my deepest thanks for you all, and yeah, I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for listening, watching, and being part of the Rocket Fuel community. Bye.